The NCAA Final Four featured some of the best setting in all of Division I men's volleyball. But who did it best when it mattered most? Let's get right into it. We are here in Columbus, Ohio. You can see the setup is a little different as I'm in an Airbnb here in downtown Columbus for the 2025 Men's Division I National Championships hosted at the Covelli Center at Ohio State. I was at the semifinals yesterday and got to see some of the best volleyball we've seen all season from four of the best teams in the land: Pepperdine, Long Beach, UCLA, and Hawaii. And I wanted to break down a video of the top four setters because I think the setters really dictated the level of play last night. In most games, that's typically the case because the setters are the quarterback of the offense. So we're gonna break down the top four setters based on their semifinal performance only. Starting off here, we'll break down the criteria I used to rank these guys 1 through 4. And first, it covers their strengths overall, what they did well in the matches, from decision making to tempo to setter-hitter connection, getting one-on-ones, and hitting efficiency. And some of those guys did it really well. Some struggled at certain points, and we'll break down all that individually for each player. Let's get into the first player. At number 4, Hawaii's very own Tread Rosenthal, 6'10" setter, first team All-American this year, won the Big West Conference, and really was the catalyst for Hawaii's success. But when it mattered most in the semifinals, Tread could not will his team to victory, and they lost in a 3-0 sweep to the Bruins of UCLA. This was not Tread's best match. He struggled with some setter-hitter connection. There were some misdials between some of his players. In the first set, Hawaii was down big. It was like 18-9. They were struggling, couldn't side out, couldn't score, and there's some accountability that has to take place with the setter in those circumstances. The serve receive could have been better. His attackers could have found ways to score in tough situations. Ultimately, a lot of the blame falls on the setter, and Tread was not connecting super well with all of his hitters. Under pressure, Tread struggled a little bit. They were close in some of these sets. It was 22-21, 23-22, a couple set points where they had chances to side out and keep scoring. And I think he made a couple bad decisions, a couple misdials. I remember one play in particular when Tread got a ball kind of high and behind him into zone 2. And he set sort of a really high and slow D ball to Finn Kearney that kind of pigeonholed him to tip the ball, which forced an unforced error for the Rainbow Warriors. And I just don't think he was super clean down the stretch, giving his teammates the best balls they needed to score. There was a lot of turnover at the middle position and at the pins as well. The lineup was flip-flopped, and that's partly because the hitters and setters just couldn't connect. The passing struggled a little bit, so that made Tread's life a little bit harder. But ultimately, as a setter, you got to find ways to fix balls. And I think Tread's tempo and his connection with the pins ultimately led to the downfall of the Rainbow Warriors. Had they been a little bit cleaner later parts of the sets, they could have extended the game to at least a four-set match, but not Tread's best effort. I know he's a great player. He's a first-team all-caliber player. I think it just kind of shows in the biggest moments. You got to be your best, and Tread just didn't have it in that match, and as a result, Hawaii lost. Next up, number 3, we have Gabe Dyer, Pepperdine setter, who I think had a really solid match. He played well. He found ways to lean on his guys. Cole Harkey, 6'10" freshman opposite. Ryan Barnett, one of the most efficient and effective outsides in the country. They were clicking, and he found them when he needed to side out to score. And I think that's one of the best qualities of a setter, is knowing who to set late in the match. And when the block started to funnel towards those guys a little bit, he dished it out to the next guy to score and kept Pepperdine really in this game the whole way. Aside from maybe the fourth set, I think Pepperdine was leading at some point in every set, and that's credit to Dyer and his ability to use tempo, to get some one-on-ones for his team, and I think he played great. You look at the type of ball that Pepperdine plays, it's very crafty. They're not going to try and out-physical you, but he gave his team the opportunity to do that in certain scenarios, and credit to Dyer for setting a good game overall. Offensive setting decision-making was great. I think defensively, he struggled a little bit. Blocking got a little bit abused by Kansas Kandev and Varga on the outside. Overall, Dyer had a good game. He kept Pepperdine in this match. They're a really hot team at this point in the year. Won the MPSF, beating the best teams late, and they tested Long Beach and really made Long Beach look not like themselves, which is credit to Dyer and his offense and the system that he runs, and incorporating front row, back row, and some good options for his team. So he comes in at number 3. Number 2, we have Moni Nikolov, the National Player of the Year, the Freshman of the Year, first team all-conference selection, and I think the undisputed best player in the country. In this match, he was not at his best, and that was clear. Although when he's not at his best on the court, he's still better than just about everyone out there. That shows his impact he has for this Beach team. So offensively, he wasn't as potent. Going over on 2, attacking and swinging is typically a staple of this Beach offense when Moni's in the lineup, and Pepperdine was finding ways to slow them down by getting them a little bit out of system, getting them off the net when he's front row. And in doing so, they were able to hang around and stay close. On top of that, I think the Beach had a couple misdials as well. Nicolov and Nato Dickinson on the outside in row 1. Some misconnects there. Ben Braun got pulled late in the first set after he got blocked and couldn't really find that connection in the middle. So Isaiah Pruitt came in and was really effective in that role. So while it wasn't Moni's best day, he was still impacting the game at a high level. We know the kind of speed that he sets on the right side. It's super fast. And when Dickinson and him were in system, red ball, D ball, it was crushing and killing. And Varga had, the normal night that he does, hitting efficiently over 300, strong in the front row and back row. And Kandev kind of took advantage of the mismatch on Dyer and was hitting up and around him most of the time too. So Nicolov, a good day, good performance, obviously willing their team to victory when it matters most, even when you don't have your best stuff, shows the kind of player that he is. When he went down in the 4th set and ran into the camera operator on the floor, I think everyone kind of held their breath, not knowing what kind of injury that was, how serious it was. Based on how he finished out that match, I think it's fair to say that he's good to go for the final for sure. There are no issues there. But yeah, I think his ceiling is a lot higher. We've seen how good he can play. He did have a couple aces like he normally does, but again, even at the service line, it wasn't his best serving night. And really, that's a lot of credit to Pepperdine. They were scouting well, scheming well on him to take away some of his offensive attacks, making it tough on the Beach attackers. So will your team to victory like that, it's a credit to his gameplay. And the best setter from the Final Four, the number 1 setter on this list was Andrew Rowan, UCLA's junior first-team All-American, and at this point, 3-time All-American. He ran an exceptional offense. UCLA was 1, 2, 3 steps ahead this Hawaii team offensively, running 2 balls, running combo first tempo balls. Cameron Thorne was unstoppable, and that's a lot of credit to Rowan and finding him in good spots. Cooper Robinson did what he does best, and Rowan just puts the ball in a spot where it's really easy as an attacker to find success. He does such a good job of manipulating the block. He had Neuster, Todd, and Hazan just spinning at the middle, not knowing whether to commit on the middle or wait and go to the pin. He was just a puppet master back there. I think that was the most creative offense I've seen of UCLA from all the games I've seen them play. They ran a first ball, A ball to Zach Rama, and although it didn't connect, it's influencing the game and changing things up like that after you establish the 2 ball in the middle. That demonstrates the kind of mind that Rowan has for the game. It's credit to him. I think he played lights out, and he was awesome. And I'm excited to see this Bruins team go up against a great Long Beach team. You have some injuries on both sides in David, Hurstinovic, Siapanis, but like I said in my first video this season of the Moni versus Rowan conversation, the 2 best setters in the country, it was inevitable for them 2 to land at this spot. I think they're playing some of their best ball all year. I think if UCLA plays like that, they win in 4. I think if Long Beach plays the way they played all season for the majority of the year, they win in 4. But we'll see on Monday. I'll be there. Tune in into that game on ESPN+. Let me know your thoughts on the top 4 setters, who you think played the best. Maybe I'll do a video on the top hitters or pins in the tournament so far. But that's all I got in this one. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.